Alright, hey, what's up, guys? I'm MeloDox, and I got Ian, which is Zola. Ian's my best friend. And today, we're going to talk about Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare just released about a week ago. And there are a lot of negative things I want to talk about, and he wants to talk about too. And before we get into that, me and him have been playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4. Ian, I don't know if you played any of the previous Call of Duties before that.
Just the campaigns before I had Xbox Live.
And I don't really think those really count for like anything really. Like Call of Duty 4 kind of started its own thing, and all the Call of Duties after that were like completely different because everything previous to that was World War II. But anyway, so when we talk about these things, we have a lot of experience. That's what, 12 years of Call of Duty that we have built up.
Thousands of hours.
We have 10,000 hours. We are masters now of Call of Duty. So some of the gripes that we have are coming from us having such experience with the games. So one of the first things I want to get into is the maps, and that's probably one of the biggest things that I've seen between Twitter, Reddit, whatever, YouTube videos. Everyone's talking about how there are no good maps, or if there is a good map, it's like mediocre at best.
I can't really put a finger on why the maps aren't good. If I'm just scrolling through the list, it's the good maps. I'm gonna think Gun Runner, Hackney Yard. I think they're good because they're simple, I guess. They're not as complex. I mean, Gun Runner, you can kind of argue that it's 3-lane. Hackney Yard, you can also agree that it's 3-lane, like pseudo 3-lane. But like all the other maps, Ramaza, Piccadilly, we're not even gonna talk about Euphrates Bridge. Everyone knows that's just horrible creation. Azir Cave isn't too bad, but when you think of all these other maps, they're really complex, and there's just way too many sight lines, I think.
Yeah, so that's something that I was about to get into, is the maps that are good, the levels that you experience, whether it's like one level being the base of the floor, like that's your baseline of the map, and then there's the second level, which is like up the steps and now you're up here, and then there's third levels where you can get up in buildings. The maps that we're talking about, like Gun Runner and Hackney Yard, those maps have basically a base level and then a second level. You're not getting up really high on things. And I think when you start getting too complex, getting like multiple levels, like what's the other map? Not Piccadilly, what's the other one?
Ramaza.
Ramaza has 3 levels. There's some parts of the map that you can literally get up like too high, which creates like too many sight lines. You're looking like up and down, and every window is a potential person, and that creates like almost it forces you to play the maps slow.
I don't know if height is just generically a bad thing when it comes to Call of Duty maps, because if you think back on like Modern Warfare 2, which I mean some people argue has the best maps, and Call of Duty 4, there's some maps where you can get up super high. Like when you think of like high rise, you can get on top of the cranes, on top of the roof. Afghan, you can be in that cliff, although it's like just kind of one spot. It's not really, you can't really see over the whole map.
No, I know what you're saying. So like
Favela had multiple levels, but that was still a fun map.
Favela was hated and liked because it had so many levels. Crash is a good example because there's actually a 3-tier building, but I think what separates those maps from these maps is so like on Crash, when you're running through the map, you know where people are coming from. There's not a lot of space where people can be. It's either like you're up in this window or you're over to my right turning this corner. In the maps currently, it's like you could this might be something that we didn't think about, is spawns. It might be spawns, I don't know, but I get that feeling of like when I turn a corner, they could be anywhere in the room somehow, or they could be anywhere in front of me, and that's like, it's just not normal to Call of Duty.
Yeah, and I think, what did you say the other day? Like imagine Favela, but you Or not? What was it?
Yeah. Imagine favela, but every building you can get into and get in the second level.
Yeah, it's just way it's way too complex, and I think this is where the camping issue comes in. Because if you are moving around, you have to check 1,500 things, and chances are, someone is sitting there waiting for you to come in.
Yeah.
Is not going to be the first place you check. So.
Yeah. And I know, like,
I think that adds to the slow pace of the game, the complexity of all these maps, and there's just too many different places that people can be.
And I've seen like a few people, one person, I've seen a few people say that, oh, well, the game just came out, we're not used to the maps, we'll get used to the maps, and we'll start getting used to where people are. And I agree with that. I'm starting to figure out slowly where people are, but I still have that, like, fear, almost like a primal fear of, like, okay, I don't know where they are. And then you're constantly tiptoeing around the map, which is un-Call of Duty like. Call of Duty is supposed to be fast-paced, running around, sprinting, turning corners, jumping on kids, 360 no-scoping, so.
We'll see how that adds up here in a few months once we know the maps like the back of our hand. But
yeah, I'm not going to get into rumors about, like, future content, but I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more maps, and we'll start to see how that rolls. But then, on top of that, we have something that me and you think is good for the game would be vote to skip.
Yep.
I think vote to skip should be in every game. I don't care if people vote to skip maps off the existence of the game. That's.
I mean, that just means that there's bad maps.
Exactly.
No one wants to play them.
Exactly.
Like, I've never met a single person that loves Euphrates Bridge.
Yeah, and if there is somebody, it's because they use a sniper on the bridge, or they use the whatever the rocket launcher. Javelin.
And also another problem is the size of these maps, some of these maps, and how it's like 6v6 for some of these super big maps, like Arkalov Peak, Grasna Raid.
Yeah, like
huge maps.
Some of these maps should not be in the playlist that they are. You're right, and there's only technically 6 maps, in my opinion, that are designed for 6v6 or something lower than that.
Yeah. And
the Palace, I think, is the 10v10 map for, like, ground war and domination or whatever. That map should be 32 on 32 or something even larger than that. It's way too big of a map. They didn't they apparently didn't anticipate the slowness of these giant maps and how they would play out. Now that we've completely trashed the entire game's maps, let's move on to weapons. I want to go ahead and kick off the ones that I have written down, which is the M4 and the 725. I think both of these guns need some type of nerf. I don't know if they ever will. I'm not gonna, like, look into any speculation or rumors, but I think both these guns are overpowered compared to everything else because of the amount of use it's having and how many times I died to them.
I say the M4 is mainly just because it's like the base gun is as good or better as like the other weapons with, all the good attachments on them.
Yeah.
And then once you throw attachments on it, it's just a laser beam. And 725 is just too long range for a shotgun.
Yeah, and the consistency of a shotgun in any Call of Duty has always been pretty bad. Like, I've always experienced shotguns to be tough to kind of feel for the range. Like, you turn a corner and shoot someone, it'd take 2 or 3 shotgun shots. But in this, except for the Spaz 12. But in this case, I know exactly where the range is for the 725, and it's across the map. Like, I just get, no matter where they are, I just turn and boom. Unlike, like a Car 98 or a Carbine, where I have to aim in and hit exactly where they are, this thing I'm just kind of in the general area, hit firing, and I'm killing them instantly. So I think...
And I know everyone's crying, oh, it's realistic, whatever. Yeah, but it's not fun.
No, okay, we want realism. Okay, the 725 with a shotgun would be, even with the bullet spread, you'd be killing people from like 30 yards at the base level. Like, that's not realistic for the game. You couldn't have that.
Yes, takes it all the fun.
Yeah, and I'm not looking for realism. That's a playlist. They want to edit and make all the guns to the actual realistic, like, specifications for, like, range.
Play Arma 3.
Sure, or just play another game. But other than those two, I don't think everything else is fine. I'm enjoying the other guns. So to build on the weapons, I'm sick and tired of losing gunfights after I shoot first.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a problem with just like the netcode, or I guess is with the fast till or time to kill. If there is like a little bit of a netcode issue, it makes it more blatant.
You always talk. You always say Peeker's advantage. I don't know if that's something that's happening either, but I feel.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never felt like. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I've never lost a gunfight after I shot first. But this is happening more often than it's ever happened in any other Call of Duty for me personally, and I don't know about you, but it's something that isn't normal. Like I don't. When you start shooting first and you're consistently putting bullets in them and they turn and one-shot you, it feels like that doesn't feel good ever. That's not that even if that person was like a skilled player, that still doesn't feel good.
Yeah, and
like,
when we talk about Peeker's advantage, we mean like you come. So say I am coming around a corner at Taylor, I would be able to see and react to him being there like a millisecond before he is able to see and react to me. So I just obviously have the advantage. Now we don't know how prevalent that is in this game as much as it is in like a game like Counter-Strike, but it definitely feels like it sometimes. Yeah.
And boy, do we have a lot of clips of us dying. I have a ton of clips of us dying to stuff way too fast. So let's move off the weapons. Let's move down on to claymores. I feel like this is even... They just suck, man. We've had them since Call of Duty 4. I've never liked claymores. It's always been a cheap way to kill somebody. You put it down anywhere. You could put it literally in the middle of a map and somebody will run into it on accident. And in this game, I did see, though, there was an official account that had said that they're gonna make claymores explode forward like they've always been. They said the intention for the thing to explode everywhere was for for beginners to have a better chance of getting kills. It's really dumb. I like that. I think it needs to go forward. That's how a claymore actually reacts in real life. When it explodes, it actually blows shrapnel out front of it. It doesn't blow up everywhere. So claymores just suck. Every time I run into one, I'm just like done. I'm just mad. It's not a good thing.
I think the problem with claymores is there's not a lot of counterplay. Like even if you use the spotter perk and you can see it through the wall, you can't destroy it without killing yourself unless you waste a grenade.
I've even seen clips of people like literally looking at a claymore, shooting it, and then they're like, "Okay, I guess it's broken," and they walk up to it and it blows them up. So there's something wrong.
The kill range is just way too far, and obviously, like I said, it shouldn't blow up behind. Like the claymores in Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, 3, they were balanced. Like they only blew up in front. The range wasn't crazy. It was reasonable. That guy had counterplay. You could see it. You could just throw a stun at it around the side when you had 2 stun grenades.
And you could even peek it and run through it sometimes and get away with like the angle. Like you could actually run straight through it if you're fast enough.
Or you could come behind it.
Or exactly, like you should be able to.
Yeah.
Because I remember
you can knife it from behind.
Yeah, I remember the first time in this game in Modern Warfare where I shot a claymore from behind and it blew me up, and I was like, "What? This isn't right." And then I just got used to it.
If you can kill them from behind safely and the range isn't as crazy on them, I think it'd be better. And maybe even having like a slight delay. Like I knew there's a perk. I think it was on Modern Warfare 3. It increased the delay of claymores blowing up. So it'd be like ting, boom. So like
yeah,
it would give you time to either run through it or like turn around, and run it through the door. You should be able to like sidestep. Like if you know the claymore is there, it shouldn't kill you.
Yeah.
Like that's the point of a claymore, is to like surprise somebody.
Yeah, and this one,
you know it's there, you can like sidestep it, get around the door before it blows up.
In this current in this current build, you literally like if you hear the click, it's almost like instantly. Like you're dead. It doesn't matter how fast you're running. You could be running with a knife, which is the fastest super sprint you can run. You still instantly die to it. You just can't get away from it. So claymores suck. Let's move on. I'm tired of talking about claymores. Dead Silence. It's currently a field upgrade. You get it.
Should be a perk. Next topic.
It should be a perk. There's a lot of things I think should be moved around to perks instead of field upgrades. I think field upgrades feel weird. all of them do. Like, having stopping power as a field upgrade might be the only thing I think actually makes sense, because in previous Call of Duties, stopping power became the base for one of the perks. Like, you couldn't use it as anything else. There wasn't, like... Call of Duty 4, the only time I ever used not stopping power was double tap as a meme. Like, you had to use stopping power if you wanted to damage. So yeah, Dead Silence, it needs to work, which it does now, and it needs to be a perk, just point blank, you're right.
Yep.
And to go off of that... Oh, so what?
Were you saying the other... I like the other field upgrades, like the trophy system. I've never used the recon drone, but it's because I like killing people.
See, I think the trophy system, which used to be an equipment, I think it should be an equipment. With how many grenades are being thrown in the game, if you get a trophy system once per, like, you get it once per, like, two minutes or whatever.
It has a fast recharge rate.
Oh, does it? I thought it was slow.
Yeah, but the thing about that is everyone's just gonna run a trophy system, and then you're never.
But that's one of the equipments. That's what I'm talking about. So like,
yeah, no, I don't think it should be an equipment. I like it as a field upgrade. Because I think equipment should just be like your grenades, and tactical should just be grenades.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Lethal grenades. I mean, obviously there's claymores in there. Maybe even having claymore as a field upgrade might be a good idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Never thought about it that much. But yeah, like all the lethals, you know, claymore, grenades, Molotov, C4, all that's fine. And then the tactical, yeah, all like thrones, except with the heartbeat sensor, but no, it's just that.
Yeah.
And then the stem, which is a little weird. I don't know if that should be a tactical.
I think the stem, if it's gonna be an equipment that you use, it should have more than one use. There's who's taking gunfire and then is like, "Ooh, I need to heal up so I can get this double kill." Like, people, it's not useful or practical. It's too situational, and you never get in those situations where healing yourself makes sense.
Yeah, I don't really think anybody uses it. It's kind of useless.
Yeah. All right, so let's keep moving, because we're already at 17 minutes. This is gonna be a podcast. So building off the Dead Silence, we got footsteps and kill streak sounds. Footsteps sound like
way too loud.
It's way too loud. It's like everyone has concrete on their feet.
It's kind of hard to tell whether they're on your floor or like a floor below you. Maybe we'll get better at that as time goes on, but right now it's kind of hard to tell exactly where they are.
Yeah, I get the sense. And also, like, with footsteps being louder than they've ever been, I feel like, remember the perk that was like, make footsteps louder?
Yeah.
I feel like that's always on. Like, you hear everywhere, you hear where they are always, and I feel like that takes away from some of the gameplay aspects that Call of Duty's always had. Like,
it just makes it slower, because you don't want to give away your footsteps.
Exactly.
And then when you hear someone, you're just sitting and waiting for them, because you want to get the drop on them.
Yeah. And then kill streak sounds, it's exhausting for me. I have very sensitive ears, and when you drop into the map as a helicopter, that's too loud. When someone calls it a Harrier, see ya. It's just too loud. You can't even talk to, like, we're in Discord, we can't even talk to each other if there's a chopper gunner coming through the map. It's too loud. These things all need to be reduced universally. And I think that's definitely going to change. There's just, everything's too loud. Let's keep moving. Next, glint.
So I actually thought of a good solution for glint.
Okay.
I think you should only see glint if someone is looking directly at you.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because right now they could be just zoomed in from where they're sitting, and on ground war this is like a dead giveaway. If you're sniping in ground war, you're dead. Somebody's gonna get you, because your visibility is the same regardless of what range you are. It's very strange. Glint shows up perfectly at the same size no matter where you are. You always know where that person is. And we tested it. There's only 2 attachments, 2 ACOG scopes that you can put on a sniper that doesn't have glint, and those are pretty bad. So inevitably glint just becomes this thing that it gives you away. So if you don't just instantly quickscope somebody, or you got the beat on them, then you're giving away your position and making the sniper that much harder to use.
So glint should only be seen if you're looking directly at the person. Because at that point, you know that they're looking at you, and then you try to, move or dodge or whatever. Now you see a glint, you just like shoot at it.
Yeah.
You know? Because
Yeah.
you can win.
Yeah,
Especially with an M4. M4 beats sniper the sniper range.
Yeah, seeing glint is like someone having like attack flashlight on their gun. It gives them away instantly.
Yeah.
So we're both.
And you know, if you just shoot at him and hit him once, then there's no way he's gonna be able to land a shot on you.
Yeah, now he's flinching. Yeah, I think glint, it's not gonna go away. I guarantee this is one of those things that they're not talking about or they're not caring about enough. But I personally would like to see it gone. So the next thing, this is something that me and you have been complaining about since the beta, because we experienced it in the beta, which is skill-based matchmaking.
No, the big elephant in the room.
Everyone knows about it, but I haven't seen a single developer on any platform say it. They won't expose it, or no, I shouldn't say expose. They won't reveal that it's there, but it's 100% there. Because me and you are playing matches. When we play together, we're playing matches that are like game battles level. Like it's Sunday, and we're in the championship finals every game.
So skill-based matchmaking would be fine if they gave you a rank.
Oh, so like in this hypothetical thing, you're talking about, Ian, would you like you'd queue up with like a team and then you'd go into a match and then at the end of the match you'd have like a rank?
Yeah, dude, imagine that.
Wow.
I don't think it's ever been done before.
You know what? I think they did it like one time in Black Ops 2, and it was dope. No, seriously though, they need to bring rank. Rank needs to be in this game instantly. I don't know why.
There should be a ranked and casual playlist. Because obviously there's times where I want to go into a game match and try hard and play against people that are like around my skill level.
Yeah.
And just get better. But like, I'm 6 beers deep on a Saturday. I don't want to play against killers. I just want to have some fun. I want to run around with an LMG and just spray my face off and have some fun.
Yeah, so like
it's not when I want to try hard, skill-based matchmaking is all right. But when I want to just chill and just like, release some stress from like a day of work, it's frustrating because I can't just relax and play Call of Duty. I have to be, sweating my ass off every time I jump into a match.
Yeah, and we're not just sitting here rubbing our own knob over and over, but both of us, because of how long we've been playing the game and how much time we put into FPS shooters, without skill-based matchmaking, if we just play based on connection, RKD, it's going to be above 2.0. We're going to go for like 40 kills a game. It's just because we're so good at the games at this point. But when we get into skill-based matchmaking, we start playing other people that are just like us. And that experience is fine, but like we said, in ranked when I get something from it, but I can also lose something. There's stakes to be had. Instead of in public matches, I want to feel free. I want to feel like, I can do anything. I'm not worried. I can put on any gun and just chill and have a good time.
Yeah. And like, I'm not a person who really cares about their kill death ratio, so it's just frustrating to just have to try so hard every game.
Yeah, I'm not saying
it's really draining at the end of the day.
And I wasn't saying the KD thing because we care, but it's something that me and you are used to. So like when we played with Tom, which is one of our friends, he's not as good as us. So when we played in his match, we instantly felt like an immediate change. Like we were getting more kills, we weren't losing gunfights, and
we're having fun.
It was just obvious that that skill at that level, it was lower and we were dominating. But that's how it should be because of the randomness that is connection-based matchmaking. We could get slaughtered and get randomly matched with a bunch of good people in connection. I'm fine with that, but not all the time.
Yeah, and if they made skill-based matchmaking just so new players like won't get butthurt because they're getting killed all the time, that's dumb. Like, we've been playing connection-based matchmaking all our lives, and we were those shitty people that once just getting slapped every game, but we kept going. We wanted to get better, so we just kept trying.
Yeah, and something that I want to point out, there have been plenty of games that have had the option where you can select, I want to get skill-based matchmaking, or I want to get connection-based matchmaking. This is not new. This isn't something that's hard to do, because it's clearly been done 100 times over. So, to wrap that one up, skill-based matchmaking, get out of here. Rank playlist, get in here. Next, this is something I brought up. You probably don't care as much about it than I do, but theater mode, being able to watch back your own films. I think this is actually important for any FPS. And it doesn't matter what skill level you are. I think it's important to be able to go back without having to open up OBS or whatever recording thing you have, and be able to go back and watch your own film. It's helpful. Sometimes it's funny, and I just think it can't be that hard to implement because, like I said before, previous games have had it.
It would be nice, but I think it's low on the priority list.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this is not something I'm sitting here being like, oh, it should have been that release, but it's something I'd like to see at some point because I think it is important for all levels of play. And also, dude, I'm tired of recording. I just want to go back and watch when I want to. So let's go to the next thing, which is something that, oh man, it's got to go, and I think it's going. Battle chatter, and when I say battle chatter, I'm talking about contact. I'm right behind you.
I don't know what they were thinking on that. If that was like a way to compensate for getting rid of the red dots on the radar, or just helping new players, it's just dumb. Like they're talking about making things more realistic, and then when you're sneaking up on someone, your guy yells out "enemy." Like,
I got a lot of enemies.
It's just counterintuitive. Doesn't make any sense. I can't even.
Yeah, so you actually hit on it. So a lot of the things that the developers had talked about before the game released was they want new players to have a good experience, meaning let's make it easier for them. And I think removing the red dots, which makes the games more random, it gives people the ability to camp more. Let's add battle chatter where you randomly announce yourself and you randomly announce where other people are. It becomes chaotic, and I think these things, even for new players, is frustrating. It didn't help anyone, it only harmed the entire community and frustrated everyone's experience.
Yeah, and half of the time it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, hey, if he's diffusing, if the guy's diffusing, and I look at him, my guy shouldn't go, enemy! Like, that blows my mind that they added that in the game.
Yeah, or if you have like trigger discipline, you see one guy ride by, but you hear his friend behind him, and you're like, I'll wait till his friend goes by too, and then come around the corner and shoot them both. No, you see the first guy, your girl's like, contact, and they got 360 no scopes you.
Oh my.
Like,
okay, me and Colin the other day, Colin is one of our friends, we were playing 2v2, and it's a 2v1 at this point, and I see where the person is. So I'm gonna sneak around the left side of the map, and Colin's right on my 6. And this guy kept saying, "I'm on your 6." Well, the guy figured it out. He kept listening to that, and then the guy came over, shot me, put Colin in a 1v1 situation. Colin lost. We should have won that. Colin should have won that, but we lost our position on the map because his character kept saying, "I'm on your 6" over and over. And that just shouldn't happen. There shouldn't be something like that. You know, if you want to put that in ground war, because it's so chaotic anyway, it doesn't matter. That's fine. But I think your character shouldn't be talking in the game.
Yep, get it out of here.
Alright, Ian, we're at 30 minutes. We're about to flip the script and start talking about the good things.
Oh.
So take a deep breath, and let's get into it. So,
put a smile on your face.
But don't forget to smile. We talked about all the bad things and the things that need to change in the game, but I want to talk about the things that are good because we're still playing the game. We haven't took it back to GameStop yet. One of the top things that I put, and I think you probably agree, is the guns themselves feel good to use.
Yep. And that's been something that's Call of Duty struggled with for a while. But no, the guns just feel, all of them just feel good. They feel heavy, I guess. They have some like beef to them, and I think that's been needed. Like, I'm just rolling through the guns right now. All of them just like feel solid. It's hard to explain, but this is one of the most important things in a Call of Duty, in my opinion. Because I remember the last few iterations, like I would just use guns, and I was like, this feels dumb. Like I don't like the way this gun looks, the way it handles, the way it sounds. But they really nailed. They hit the head on the nail.
Yeah, I agree, because in previous Call of Duties, and I'm thinking like everything past like Ghost, it started to get worse for me. Like I was just using the best guns in the game because they did the most damage, and they were like, I literally wasn't even trying any other guns because I didn't have fun with anything else, and the only reason I was having fun with the best guns was because I was getting the most kills in them. But in this game,
they weren't even satisfying to use.
Yeah, right. And in this game, I'm getting that like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 2 feeling where I could whip out anything. Like in Modern Warfare 2, I could use the SCAR, I could use the ACR, I could use the TAR, I could use the FAMAS, MP5. I can go on and on. I could use all the guns.
RPD and it still feels awesome.
RPD. You could do anything in those games, and it felt great. And I think you're right. They've done something that has recreated that experience, because in this game I'm thinking M4, M13, Kilo, AK, SCAR, even the FAMA, like all the guns feel good to use. So that's something like that you said. It's really important, because when you play Call of Duty, I don't care what my character looks like. I really don't care how I run. I don't care how I slide. I want the gunplay to feel good, which I think it does.
Yep. That's what keeps me coming back.
Yeah, and I was gonna say gunplay feels good. We're gonna talk about that, but that kind of ties off the guns. All the guns run good. Sound design is amazing. Other than it being too loud, the sounds in this game are actually like tier 1.
Yeah, I don't think guns have sounded better in a Call of Duty. Like obviously, so one thing about Modern Warfare 2 and like Call of Duty 4, every gun had a distinct sound. I could be across the map, and when I hear that gun go off, I know exactly what it is. But in this game, they all kind of blend together. But I mean, that's how guns are. So
yeah, and
you can tell kind of what caliber it is, but which gun it is, I mean, it's fine. But you know, guns, they sound good.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, just because things are loud doesn't mean the sound design isn't good. The way the maps, just the ambient noises.
Yeah, like in Modern Warfare, right? Like in Modern Warfare, there's only a handful of guns I can, off the top of my head, when I hear it, I know what it is. But in like Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, if I hear, like, the AK was so distinct in both those games, the TAR was so distinct.
The SCAR.
All the guns. Let's not even bother naming all the guns. When you heard it, you knew it, and you knew what that person had. In this game, it's kind of different, but
that's not a bad thing that you can tell what people have when you hear them.
No.
But it was kind of a cool thing about the old games.
Yeah.
Because some guns, you know, sounded better than other ones.
Yeah. So next thing, graphics. I can't believe how good the game looks, because the other day I did a comparison for myself. I just went and googled like COD 4, MW2, MW3, and then I got this game and side by sided them, and I cannot believe how far we've come with like the ray tracing and like everything, lighting. It's nuts. So
a game can look good, but the fact that it looks so good and performs so well is amazing in my eyes. And I don't know if that's with... Well,
it performs well in the bedroom.
this game does perform well in my bedroom.
It does.
But yeah, I get solid, 120 FPS every game, no stutters. It's amazing, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, and I want to clarify, Ian's getting amazing frames on a PC. We're not playing on Xbox. We're not playing on PS4. On the PC, yeah, I'm getting like 100+ frames in any situation now, and the game's still, and I'm running it on high on everything. So it's,
the lighting is so good.
Yeah, I can't believe how
I can like anticipate people by like shadows.
Yeah, and this isn't like I'm trying to think of a game, like, just because a game, I don't know if you brought this up, but like, just because a game looks good doesn't mean it's gonna play good.
Oh no.
And this game plays good. It's just, that's crazy. Because sometimes lighting and stuff
games, they look like shit that are the most fun to play.
Yeah, yeah. Right. So graphics are good, performs good in the bedroom. Let's move on to the gunsmith. This is something you talked about. You wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, another great addition to the game. You can really like just fine tune guns. I mean, this has been everybody's talked about it. We don't need to harp on this too much, but we've come a long way just from being able to pick from a red dot, silencer, ACOG on your gun. You know, you can fully customize guns. You can change the caliber of a gun. This is unprecedented customization, but you all know this.
Yeah, and like,
It's just
like for the first time in Call of Duty history, from my memory, I don't remember being able to take a gun and turn it into like 3 different versions of itself and all of them be viable. And I'm not talking about like, ooh, I added an ACOG. I'm talking like the whole gun is different. It runs different, it shoots different, it's a different experience. So, that's something that, yeah.
Sorry, in other games you kind of, you know, the gun is what it is. But in this game you can tailor guns to your playstyle or like the map you're playing, the situation you're in.
Yeah, that's not, yeah. You hit it. Like, you can literally, however you want to play with a gun, you can play with it based on all these attachments and all these crazy options you can have now. Because me and Hugh, you know, we used to have fun just adding a silencer. Like, just taking the red dot off and putting a silencer on and playing was different for us. That was the difference we had. But now it's everything. So that's something I'm really happy with and excited to even expand on, because I still haven't seen all the variations of all the guns. Even with people going in private matches, I still don't know what everything could be.
So that's something that'll keep you interested.
Yeah. And then I put down the campaign's amazing. Everyone that's bought the game probably played the campaign. They know it's amazing. So
No, I won't spoil it.
not gonna spoil it. So overall, there's a lot of things that are holding this game back, and I think one of the biggest things we can pull away from this is the game has probably the highest potential ceiling that I've ever seen a Call of Duty have. I want it to be good. I want to keep playing it because I paid $60 for it. Name it. No. I want this game to be good because I see potential, and I hate when I see games and I play games and I can think of all the options and things that it could have done better, and then it doesn't capitalize on it. I feel like if they were to hit even some of these notes that we hit on the negative side and to implement them, I think this might be like top 2, top 3 years ever for Call of Duty, or even for an FPS, in my opinion.
Yep, and hopefully last more than a year.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I'm tired of a new game.
I'm tired of drinking water, Ian. I want to eat. I want to play the game for 2 years. Yeah. So that's it. This is something that me and him wanted to do. We wanted to talk about the game in extent because, like I said in the beginning, we have a lot of experience and we love these games, and we just wanted to get all these things out. And I haven't seen a lot of people give in a lot of they're giving criticism, but they're giving it in like spurts. You know, it's kind of hard to look at a tweet and expand on thoughts because 280 characters is limiting. So for anyone that's still watching this damn thing at 40 minutes, I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you think about all the things that we've said and take it with you when you play the game. So that's it. Ian, tell them what to do.
No. Forget the line.
Comment, rate, subscribe. It was a comment, rate. Yeah, because
comment, rate, subscribe, bye.
Yeah, I still use that as my ending. You know that?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I swear to God, every video is you standing on your porch going, comment, rate, subscribe, bye, and then you jump off, and that's it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, let us know what you guys think. So there it is.
Rate, comment,